When Gellert Grindelwald begins moving forward with his plan to start a war between the wizards and muggles, Albus Dumbledore assembles his army of wizards to stop him before it's too late. This is Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore. Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore is the third film in the Fantastic Beasts franchise, though I still have to wonder why they are still using the name Fantastic Beasts when there are not too many Fantastic Beasts throughout them. This film's production was kinda cursed, if you will. Between J.K. Rowling being very negative to a certain demographic of people, a recasting that we will definitely be getting to, and most recently, a controversy surrounding one of the film's main actors. This is the God's way of telling us Harry Potter should not have moved past the Deathly Hallows, as almost everything in this film comes off as J.K. Rowling and Warner Brothers trying to just squeeze something out of this dying franchise. There are a few moments of entertainment to be had in this film, but overall, it is not a film worth watching. These films just feel lost as to who they want to follow. The first film, which I remember quite liking, was very focused on Newt Scamander as a character. And he's still in this film, and he's still an entertaining character. But I don't know why he's in this movie. The first film was quite focused on Newt Scamander and his accomplices. And I have to say that is kind of what I enjoyed about the first film, at least compared more to this, because it gave a purpose. There was actually a purpose towards what's going on in the film. It was a much simpler story to follow within the wizarding world, and honestly, I think it's a lot better than the next two films that preceded. Now you have Jude Law playing Dumbledore in what is just the most basic of plots I think I've seen in a film in a good while. You know your franchise is running on fumes when an election is its biggest threat. A not very subtle election at that. Like, yeah, I know where you're going with this, J.K. Rowling. I don't think I don't. I guess Jude Law is fine with what he's given, but overall, the character is just not entertaining, nor is his story or conflict anything really is engaging enough to me to be attached to. I will say, to the film's credit, Newt Scamander and Jacob Kowalski are still two very fantastic characters to watch and are very entertaining in this film. Eddie Redmayne and Dan Fogler both return to play these characters respectively, and I'm still really entertained with their characters, and I'm more invested with them than I am Dumbledore, by a long shot. I could have watched a whole movie with Newt Scamander trying to catch more of the Fantastic Beasts. He really sells that he knows these beasts in and out, and there's a great scene with his knowledge of the animals in the film, and I really enjoyed that scene. Equally as amazing, and personally my favorite addition to any of these films, is Dan Fogler as Jacob Kowalski, the Muggle character in the films. I think the addition of a Muggle character created a great new dynamic for these films, and it is easily my favorite and most consistent part of all three films so far. Kowalski MVP. Now obviously there is the elephant in the room, and yes, I have to talk about it. Before production on this film started, news broke that Johnny Depp has been fired from the role of Grindelwald. This was due to the controversy surrounding him and his ex-wife, who I refuse to name. Admittedly, this whole situation wouldn't be as bad if his ex-wife didn't get to keep her role in Aquaman 2. This alone is almost made me not want to see this film, but since I'm starting this whole new YouTube channel, I feel like it's best that I see every movie that I can and just try to make the best of it. For what it's worth, Johnny Depp may have dodged a bullet by not being in this film, but it's kind of just the principle of it all. The actor who they got to replace Depp is Mads Mikkelsen, and to his credit, is fine in the role. He's played villains in James Bond films to Doctor Strange films, and it just seems like a safe choice, and for what it's worth, I understand the choice. I don't blame him for anything. He just took the role, and for what it's worth, he was fine in it. Warner Brothers must have really patted themselves on the back, thinking, man, we are doing such a good job. We don't have any violent people in our movies. Then you remember Ezra Miller's in this movie. Once again, the character they play is just not interesting. It just seems like he changes so much throughout the film. The character is a he, but Ezra Miller is a they. So technically, I'm not wrong there. I think. I don't know. I'm going to say I'm right. Because why would J.K. Rowling would never write a character that becomes a they them? Why would they? Wouldn't she? Wouldn't do that. I was really worried they were going to make Ezra Miller a young Snape. I don't know why. I'm like, no. We need Adam Driver as young Snape. Now, I don't remember the last film too well, to be brutally honest, but I do think the ending of the film seemed a bit more impactful than it actually is in this film. The consequences of what happens in the last film don't get felt as much as I think they should have in this film. Allegedly, they're making 2 more movies, and I don't think they're going to... There's no way they get 2 more movies out of this. Like, how? Maybe 1 more movie, but 2? You're really stretching it there, Warner Brothers. Overall, I think there are glimpses of fun and whimsy to be had in this film, but it's just bogged down by just being a generic piece from a admittedly dying franchise. Admittedly, making a franchise that's whole namesake was one character for the longest time is not the best idea. You know, at least Star Wars or Star Trek or Marvel or DC, they're not all labeled by their one character. If you're a diehard fan of Harry Potter and the rest of the wizarding world, I guess watch this and judge it for yourself, but for anyone else, I just can't recommend the film. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified when my next review drops. Until next time, I'm Quint Dunaway, hoping you will keep it cinematic.